Parmarth Swami Chidananji Maharaj, Parmpujaacharya Lokeshwariji Maharaj, respected Dr. Bukamchandri, respected Michael, respected Sri Yateshbhai, all of the organizers, the chairman, the president of the temple committee, and all of you, our sisters and brothers in this divine Jain community. It's a wonderful honor and a wonderful joy to be here on this anniversary day of this Jain temple. And it's a particular joy and honor to be here for this forum on peace through nonviolence. Nonviolence is not merely one way to peace. It's not merely one of the paths or one of the options. Nonviolence is the only way to peace. Tragically today, all over the world, people seem to believe that one can use force, aggression, that you can somehow beat people into peace. You can beat people into submission, but submission is very different than peace. If we want to have peace, the only way to attain it is through nonviolence. Whatever we plant, that is what our harvest will reap. If I plant an apple seed, it doesn't matter how much I love peaches, or how many peachy songs I sing, or how much I pray for peaches. If the seed is an apple seed, I am only going to get apples. There's no possibility that I'm going to get peaches out of an apple seed. If what I want are peaches, I have to plant peaches. And in the same way, if we are planting seeds of violence, planting seeds through aggression, through exploitation, through violence in our thoughts, our words, our deeds, how in the world are these seeds of violence going to sprout into trees of peace? We have to plant seeds of peace. What happened? As all of our revered speakers have said, it must begin within. The only way to attain peace is to begin from within and then spread out. Our desires and our greed are the greatest obstacle to this. They convince us over and over again to crave more, to yearn for more, to die for more from the outside world. And as we expect more and crave for more, naturally we end up frustrated. They convince us that the key to our own peace, the key to our own joy and bliss in life, somehow lies in things outside. That if I just get a new model car, if I just have a home in this area of town, if I just have this brand of jeans or this type of mobile, somehow I'll be happy. There's a wonderful story of a woman who's searching in the road in the middle of the night. She's down on her hands and knees under a street light. And a wise man walks by and he says, "Mother, what are you searching for?" "Oh," she says, "I've lost my key." The man gets down on his hands and knees and he helps her look. And after a short while, when they haven't found it, he asks her, "Mother, where did you leave your key?" "Oh, in the house," she says. "Well, then why in the world are you searching for it outside of the street?" And she says, "Because it's dark inside. I have no light. Outside there's this very bright street light. So I thought, let me come outside and I'll search for it where it's bright. He said, go back inside. It may take you a little way, but you'll find the key. And we laughed, because who in their right mind would possibly search outside in the road for something that's inside? And yet, that's exactly what we do in our lives. We spend our lives searching. We search in catalogs, we search in shopping centers, we search on the internet for the key to peace, the key to joy, the key to meaning in life. But it's only within ourselves. We'll never find it outside. And so we become more and more frustrated. We acquire more, we attain more, we buy more and more. We change our brands of cars, our brands of jeans, but we still don't have peace. The top medicines prescribed in this country are antidepressants, anti-anxiety medicine, sleeping pills, and Viagra. This is the country that has attained, achieved, acquired more than anyone else on earth. And now we have to take pills to do what animals can do. A pill to go to sleep at night. A pill to drag ourselves out of bed the next day. A pill to convince ourselves life is worth living. A pill to procreate. Because where we're looking for that peace and that joy is not where it's to be found. So we're frustrated and we're depressed. Where is it? As Pujya Swamiji said, it's only in that divine connection. Only when we go back within to that connection to the divine can we possibly hope to attain that peace. And I say this to you as someone who has come from this country. I've seen what this country and this culture has to offer. And it's not there. That doesn't mean don't enjoy it. Enjoy it for what it can give you. Comfort, convenience, luxury. But the key is not there. The key is in that connection. A man went to the doctor once, and he complained to the doctor, "Doctor, there's something very wrong with me. Everything in my body hurts. Wherever I touch, it hurts. I touch my head and it hurts. I touch my back and it hurts. I touch my knees and they hurt." And the doctor was amazed, because usually people have one complaint. This man, everything hurts. So the doctor ran every possible scan and test. And at the end, he calls the man in and he says, "I have some good news, and I have some bad news. The good news is, there's nothing wrong with your head or your back or your knee or your stomach. The bad news is, your finger's broken. And because your finger's broken, whatever you touch hurts." But the problem is not in the body. The problem is in the broken finger. And the same happens in our lives. Our lives hurt. But we blame it on inflation rates or interest rates or mortgage rates or the stock market or our in-laws, our employers, our employees, our children, our parents. But the real problem is not out there. The problem is that broken connection. So only by reconnecting to the divine, that's where the peace comes. That's where the joy comes. And that's what the importance of a place like this is. You're not going to connect to the divine sitting in front of the TV or sitting in front of the computer. They're wonderful, they serve different purposes. But that's what a place like this is needed for. This is where we reconnect. Once we've reconnected, once we've attained that peace inside, I want to take just a couple of short minutes and talk about then what. Because although that's the first step, it's not the end. It's wonderful to be in peace ourselves. But we then have a responsibility. We have a responsibility to practice peace in action, non-violence in action. And I want to talk just very quickly about a couple of short aspects about this. The first and most important, luckily here in a Jain society, I don't have to talk too much about vegetarianism. Luckily, with the blessings of Pujacharyaji and your wonderful teachers and guides and parents, I'm sure you're all vegetarians. But what else can you do? Take it, spread it, share it. Every single time you can convince your non-vegetarian friend, of course, lovingly, gently, and peacefully, to choose a vegetarian option rather than a hamburger for one meal. One meal as you sit together in a restaurant. You will save 15 pounds of grain. That's enough to feed 15 other people. You'll save thousands of gallons of water, acres of land, 75 kilograms of carbon dioxide from being released into the atmosphere. Every moment you can share and spread vegetarianism is a moment that your life has been not only peaceful internally, but peace in action and non-violence in action for the planet and for all of the creatures with whom we share it. I was so happy at dinner this evening to hear from Pujacharyaji that there's now a new movement in the Jain society, a movement not only toward vegetarianism, but toward veganism. As believers in Ahimsa, we are vegetarian because it is non-violent. And we believe that milk is also non-violent. And in India, on traditional dairies, it is. However, in this country, the situation is very different. Drastically different. In this country, the dairy cows are chained by the neck in crates in which they can't even move, let alone turn around. They never see a blade of grass, let alone being able to graze or walk or wander or eat it. They are hooked up 24 hours a day to painful milking machines and pumped full of steroids and hormones and chemicals to make them produce more and more and more. And their children? Well, if they're girls, they can look forward to such a wonderful fate. If they're boys, they immediately become veal or beef. And the dairy cow, when she's too old to give milk, immediately is sold off to the nearby beef farmers. We don't eat meat because it's a practice of Ahimsa. And yet in this country, the torture that the dairy cows suffer